For me, creating accurate NBA player builds is one of the funnest things to do on NBA 2K25. So when I sat down to create Michael Jordan's exact build, I was excited. But as I scrolled through the 1990s Bulls rosters, I started to realize this wasn't going to be easy. Prime Michael Jordan on 2K25 has some of the most ridiculous attributes of any player in the game. We're talking about attributes like a 99 mid-range, 98 agility, 96 vertical, 97 layup, 95 driving dunk, 98 post control, on a 6'6" guard, to go along with 98 perimeter defense, 88 ball handle, 92 pass accuracy. Some of these attributes not only are not possible in this builder, but you certainly aren't going to get all of them on one build at 6'6". So I knew I was in a tough spot. If I was going to create an accurate Michael Jordan build, I only had one option. We were going to have to turn back the clock, go back in through the years of Mike's career and find a point in time where he was still an elite player, but not quite as good as he was in the 90s. So we went all the way back to 1988, and it's kind of silly to say he wasn't as good in 1988 because he averaged 35 points per game, won the MVP and the Defensive Player of the Year all in one season. But overall, Mike wasn't as refined of a player. He wasn't as strong, he wasn't as good of a shooter, he wasn't as good of a post player. So this gave us a chance to actually create an accurate Michael Jordan build. I went through the rosters on NBA 2K and they didn't have the exact season where he won Defensive Player of the Year, but they had the season after, the 1988-1989 NBA 2K25 version of Michael Jordan. Now this year, Jordan averaged 32 points per game, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. We still had our work cut out for us, but let's dive into 1988 Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Jordan's exact build on NBA 2K25. First things first, the easy stuff. Michael Jordan, right hand, number 23. Now, of course, Mike was a shooting guard, but you can make the build at point guard or small forward if you want a different icon when you play 5v5. 6'6" on the height. Now, although he was probably lighter in his early days, he's listed at 216, so we went with it. And his wingspan is 6'11 and a half. But the main thing that set Mike apart from a lot of players was his hand size. Mike had one of the biggest hand sizes in NBA history. And that's a huge advantage, especially as a guard. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the option to change our hand size, so I gave him an extra 1.5 inches on his wingspan to try to make up for it, and it ended up working out with the badge thresholds we needed to hit in order to get the badges Mike has on the roster, so it's a win-win. Now, although you see he has set shot specialists on gold, when we start to dive into the rosters of the 80s, Mike was shooting under 20% from three all of these seasons, so it's no surprise we're gonna have to unlock that badge through our mid-range. He has a 92 mid, a 73, and an 84 free throw. So we're gonna go with an 89 mid-range because that's the threshold to unlock gold set shot specialist. And for the rest of the shooting attributes, it'll match the roster identically. 70 on the 3-point rating, 84 on the free throw rating. Gold set shot specialist, silver deadeye, silver shifty shooter, 73 ball, 89 mid-range. I feel very confident on this game shooting with those attributes. Now, I will say you're gonna want to rhythm shoot. For those of you that are out there still shooting with the button, on these types of shot ratings, if you shoot with the stick, you can be very, very consistent. Shooting with the button, the RNG comes into play, and you know, it could go either way. But with rhythm shooting, with these badges and these attributes, whether you want to get into the midi and be creative, shoot, catch, and shoot threes, isolate and get threes, you can be extremely consistent. And I know y'all gonna want the jump shot, so here it is. I use Jarrett Culver base with Champagny, Oscar Robertson, 62-38 max speed, and I shoot on release. There's the jump shot. Let's get back into the build. Now, this is Defensive Player of the Year Michael Jordan, so let's talk a little defense. Two quick things. First of all, thank God they revamped the Defensive Player of the Year award, because what is that? Secondly, I know someone's going to say, why didn't you make Jordan look like young Jordan with the hair? There simply was no good face creations for young Michael Jordan on YouTube. If you got a good one, send it to me on Twitter or Instagram, but I had to go with bald Jordan because it was the only thing that looked official. So in the roster, Mike has decent interior defense at 68. But 98 perimeter and 90 steal. So we're gonna have to match that. We're gonna go 60 interior, that's the threshold to unlock bronze paint patroller, but then 97 perimeter defense to unlock all Hall of Fame perimeter defense badges. And let me tell you, if you haven't played this year with a super high perimeter defense rating with, you know, Hoff and Legend perimeter defense badges, you're missing out on some fun because you can absolutely clamp people up on the perimeter and get crazy shot contests. Now in the roster, Mike had that 90 steal rating. We're gonna go 91 steal because that unlocks gold glove and gold interceptor. And you guys know this is one of my favorite thresholds when it comes to defense ratings. You know, 73 steal, 85 steal, they're decent thresholds. But when you start to get to that 91 and up, you notice a big difference in your ability to absolutely tear it off people. And Mike won Defensive Player of the Year because, one, I mean, he played elite defense, but two, he was getting a lot of steals back in the day. And listen, there was the whole controversy that some of them were fabricated and the scorekeepers were inflating his stats. Who knows if that's true or not? You know, that if you want to go back and watch the films, go ahead. All I know is Mike was playing D and our build is going to be playing D as well. Now, on top of the steal in the perimeter, we're going 78 on the block. Now, we get bronze paint patroller, but also silver high flying denier. And we're going to use our tier 2 badge max +1 to plus that to gold. And whether you're getting blocks in the paint, blocks on perimeter jump shots, you can absolutely clamp people up. But as I said, this is DPOY Mike, so we're using all facets of the builder to enhance his defense. So with our badge max +1 slots, we're going legend, on-ball menace, and gold high flying denier. On top of it, we're running the pest take, which is going to boost our perimeter, steal, and agility, and give us vice takeover to absolutely lock people down. So 2K included that 88-89 Bulls roster, and this was Mike's best rebounding year ever at 8 rebounds per game. So we're gonna go 80 defensive rebound and 77 offensive rebound. This is one of my favorite aspects about this build, honestly. But that silver rebound chaser, bronze pogo stick, and I just love the fact that you're an extra rebounder on the court. And with long arms and high vertical, you can definitely impact the game on the glass. Now, as we said, going back to Mike's younger years, there were still flaws in Mike's game. And one of them really showed in the roster. Mike's strength rating at this time of his career was only a 57. But again, this allowed us to really utilize more attributes. So I realized that if I put my strength down to 57, it brought my perimeter defense down to 92. But in that case, I could use my cap breakers on my perimeter to get it back to 97 and still keep the 57 strength that he has on the roster. On top of that, we're going to use 5 cap breakers on our steal to get it back to 91. And then you see our physicals here. We're going to go +5 on our speed to max it out to 94, 85 agility, and 85 vertical. Overall, a really athletic 6'6". Now, Mike's finishing ability was otherworldly. With 96 driving layup and 98 driving dunk, I can't afford both of those in this builder. But because he has Hall of Fame posterizer as one of his Hall of Fame badges, I figured I gotta go with the driving dunk, so we're gonna put our driving dunk to 91, use +5 cap breakers to put it to 96, which unlocks Hall of Fame posterizer. And y'all already know about the 96 dunk at this point if you've been watching my channel. The 96 dunk on these bigger builds is insane. This build is flying through the air like a young Michael Jordan. Now, I know y'all gonna want the dunk packages, so here they are. One thing I will say that I've noticed about dunking on this game is the bigger builds just dunk better than the small builds. Like a 6'3 build with 96 driving dunk versus a 6'8 build with 96 driving dunk. The 6'8, 96 driving feels way better than the smaller build. Also, you'll notice in these dunk packages, I do have on Michael Jordan. Now in 2K24, I think it was the best dunk package on the game in my opinion, but this year, I don't really use it if I'm playing anything competitively because the cradle dunks are so slow and they're able to take you out of the animation very consistently. But if I'm just hooping for fun, I'll keep on that MJ dunk package and get to the free throw line dunks and the cradle dunks and sticking out the tongue and look like young Mike flying through the air. Now, like I said, we couldn't get the high layup rating as well as the high driving dunk. The builder just doesn't give you enough attributes. But for some reason, even with a 71 driving layup on these bigger ball handlers, you can still just go up and make BS layups. It's just something to do with the contest system on the layups against the taller players. It just goes in. Now, although Mike's post game wasn't as refined as his prime where he had 98 post control on the roster, this one still got 75 post control with silver post up poet, which is perfect for the way this builder works because post control going to 77 is not only extremely cheap, but it also unlocks silver post up poet. But we're going to take it a little further and go to 79 post control to unlock that gold post fade phenom. This was undoubtedly one of my favorite aspects about this build. I could get to that signature MJ post fadeaway if I wanted to. If defenders were a mismatch on me, I could throw them out of the way with post spins. I could also get back to the fundamentals and use my footwork in the post for a beautiful up and under. Or if I really want to get freaky off the post hop shot, throw a self lob. Now this is what the final 1988 Michael Jordan build looks like. This was made on a Legend account, so it's 21 cap breakers to get this type of build. 96 driving dunk, 79 post control, the 89 midi with the 73 point rating. Had to sacrifice on the pass accuracy a little bit to get everything else, but 81 ball control, 75 speed with ball. I know a lot of y'all are gonna ask for the dribble moves, and again, you know, you're a bigger player on this game. They really tried to kill the way bigger players can dribble, but you can still get to a bucket here and there for sure. So these are the shooting animations I use, the playmaking animations I use. The only thing I might change sometimes is the escape. Sometimes I'll use basic escape. If you guys know about the basic escape spam, you can speed boost with no speed with ball. And the other thing I'll change is the behind the back. The pro behind the back is better for the explosives. The Kawhi Leonard behind the back is better for the side to sides. 97 perimeter, 91 steal, 78 block, good rebounding, high speed, good agility, good vertical. But what would Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's exact build look like in NBA 2K25? Click that video on the screen. It's another 6'6", but it looks completely different from this. Go let me know what you think.